The Ford government announcing its annual education grants, the money school boards use to operate. They're informally known as Grants for Student Needs, or GSN. Overall school funding is going up, but just by 0.6%. Per pupil funding is down by $54. The budgets for both the Toronto District and Catholic school boards are down marginally over last year. The big issue has been that many teachers across the province have been handed redundancy notices, prompting fears that they may be laid off. The government today announced $1.6 billion to help keep those teachers in the classroom. However, it's not new money. It's coming out of the overall budget.
It will be in the operating envelope, known as GSN, that goes to school boards as they figure out their roster for the next school year.
But let's just be clear about it. This is money that is coming out of the classroom, coming out of textbooks, coming out of learning materials, to pay these teachers' salaries to keep them in the classroom.
Well, overall, when you take a look at...
Is it not?
At overall, our investment in GSN is increasing across the province.
Only marginally, Minister.
Yeah, it's increasing though, and we're recognizing that we have an opportunity to modernize our education system, and in doing so, we're also making sure teachers know we're standing with them.
The funding for both the Catholic and district school boards here in Toronto is lower than last year. Why is that the case?
Well, again, as I said, there's a number of compounding factors that lead to the total number, total GSN number per pupil, if you will, and declining enrollment plays a big factor in that as well.
Lots of details here. The government is increasing funding for things like special education by $90 million and bringing in a new summer jobs program. However, it's cutting $230 million from the Learning Opportunities Grant, which helps students who have difficulty learning due to their socioeconomic backgrounds. It's also cutting grants that pay for some ECEs, librarians, guidance counselors, and textbooks. There's going to be people out there that are going to say, you're trying to balance the books on the backs of students. Is that true, Minister?
Not at all. What we're doing is taking an opportunity to clean up the mess that we inherited.
The overall budget is going up $47 million. I mean, it's not like we're seeing a big overall cut here, right, Mary?
I think when you take into account things like the $1.6 billion that's there to basically help lay people off more slowly, and when you see things like that and the fact that the childcare rebate and things like that are included in the overall budget, I think the reduction in the budget is actually far more significant than what it looks like at first glance.
The contract between the teachers' unions and the province expires at the end of August. The education minister says she's ready to get to the bargaining table now.
We've invited our Labour partners to come to the table as early as Monday, April 29th. We're ready to go.
Not so fast, says the head of the teachers' union, OSSTF.
I don't think there's any realistic way that bargaining can begin next week. It's a process, and it involves serving notice and then getting together after a certain period of time and so forth. But we're actively considering the start of bargaining at this point.
It's going to be a tough bargaining session, and
could we see a strike here?
I certainly think nobody wants to see a strike.
Now, the education minister says she doesn't expect any teacher to be laid off, but boards worry there's just not enough new money here to keep all the teachers in the classroom. Richard Southern, City News.